understaffed, and overworked. That's what Ty Smith of Houston has to say about his experience working Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival that left 300 injured and now 10 dead. The latest to succumb to their injuries is 9-year-old Ezra Blount, who was attending the festival with his father. With new details coming out every day, questions and speculation start to rise, and people ask who's to blame. But Ty Smith says, stop the cap. Not even a month ago, Playboi Carti threw a show at the same exact venue in Houston and it got shut down for crowd rioting. He believes that it's due to poor planning, rowdy concert goers, and a lack of medical resources helped this festival turn for the worse. Also, a Houston judge choosing to lower the city's COVID rating 2 days before the festival? It really makes you wonder. Stay tuned for the full story right here with Ty Smith and No Jumper. It's Black Dave. Let's go. I'll tell the people about how I found you. I was going through, after Astroworld, the tragic events that took place at Astroworld, I was going through TikTok and I was seeing a lot of the videos just for like hashtag Astroworld. And I came across your video, which is like probably up towards like 1 million views at this point. And
bro, yeah, I'm at a 250,000 right now.
Wow. That's how I found your shit, through TikTok. And I saw when I clicked your Instagram, I saw that you was following me already. So I was like, oh shit. So I reached out to you and, you started to tell me your experience. How long have you been doing security guard work?
So like, this is my company that I actually just put in my 2 weeks notice with them.
Wow.
So that's CS, yeah, over this shit. Cause fuck all that.
Yeah.
We didn't sign up for it. You know what I mean? And so that's CSC. And they were one of them out there. Then you had Travis Scott's security people through Live Nation. And then you also had the Harris County police officers, not the Houston City Police Department. They were like secondary. So they weren't even on site. They were just blocking streets for the most part. And then you had the county people. Those were the ones that you saw on like horseback. If you were at Astroworld Festival and you saw someone in a yellow shirt like this, or you saw somebody in a blue version of this shirt, or in an all black version of this, they were a CSC employee, and you saw them from on the streets with the police officers. You saw them with every level of other security, as well as medical, merch, vendors, rides, like food, everything. They try to have people posted everywhere. But like, that was the goal, but that was not the reality. The reality is we were completely understaffed, and it was basically everybody at the gates or everybody at the stage and barricade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this the first event that you worked with CSC on? First hip hop event?
Absolutely not.
You've been doing it quite a while, quite a few years now. So NRG Park, that's where they threw the Astroworld Festival. Has that place ever had any festivals before? Was that their first time using that park?
We had a month to prepare, where we had an issue happen at the Playboi Carti show where it got shut down like a month before Astroworld.
Really?
And yeah, we had that
This was at NRG as well?
This was at NRG, Reliance Stadium. And the thing about it is like, that show had seating in it versus this show at Astroworld Festival did not. And they didn't even get to the show part as well because it got shut down before the show even happened. They were going so crazy. Like, they broke all the metal detectors. It started raining and stuff. They knocked like one of the cops off their horses.
Wow.
They put one of the security dudes in the hospital, kicking him and stuff when he was on the ground.
This was at the Carti event.
Yeah, this was at Playboi Carti in Houston about a month before Astroworld. And so with that happening, with that small of a show, and us having a whole month to prepare for Astroworld Festival, basically.
Right. So going into this, like knowing that Playboi Carti's show got so, it got violent and got shut down, was there any like prep with you guys where they told y'all like, hey, we see what happened last month, we got to take these precautions? Was there any like warning or prep?
That's the sad thing. None at all.
Damn.
None at all from CSC to other CSC employees. We didn't have a group meeting. We didn't have a staff get together. We didn't have even an email. They didn't even like a generic company email. Nothing like that. They sent out a text message with a financial incentive that said, if you work a shift for Astroworld for setup the festival day and then close down, they'll give you an extra $60 on top of your shifts. But your shifts were 13 hours minimum, up to 16 or more hours if needed. And that's it. Outside 24/7, you get no break. Like if you ask for a break, they're like, yeah, your break is now. And like you're like, no, but like, can I really get a break? They're like, yeah, you're on break now. Your whole shift, it's a break. Like they didn't feed us. They didn't feed us at all as a staff. Yeah, this is CSC. They didn't feed us as a staff. Like, wow. Yeah, so we had 2 golf carts between the entire company that we could use. And I think there was only like 15 walkie-talkies.
Oh my God. So run me through like your day. Like you get to Astroworld, you probably had to show up the day prior, right, to help set up, or did you show up just that day?
So I was working 3 days prior to the event. And each one of those was a 13-hour shift, except for the last one, which was a 16-hour shift. And that was the day before the event. The day of the festival, I didn't get off until like 4 p.m. And that was insane because that was the longest. And after that, I told my boss, like the day after when we got canceled, I told him, I was like, if I come in, I'm coming in late. Like, there's no way after all that and all the hours before that I'm going to come in on time or stay
ready
late.
To work,
like,
yeah.
Nah. It was one of those things, man, like you never, ever expect, even if you work at a job where there's like failures and stuff like that and mishaps, you never expect something to go so crazy as like literally deaths taking place at your job.
It's traumatic, though. It really is.
Yeah, and then for them to give us like no real like help in any ways. They didn't give us any breaks. They didn't give us any we got bottles of water. They gave us bottles of water. And then if you wanted to like sit down, you had to bring your own chair.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I'm not even lying to you. If you wanted food or snacks, anything like that,
who's like you don't have to give any names, but so you have a point of contact when you arrive, or is it just like you show up and you had a location to be a post and that's just where you was at?
So you get a text message, or they have an app that'll give you a description, and it'll tell you a lot, name or number, or like a color. So like it was red lot, and then it'll give you your start time, your estimated out time, and then what your overall job description of the shift is going to be. But there is no set exact place. There is no set like supervisor per se.
So Ty, what was your specific job description? What did they text you and say this is your job description?
So I am a level. So for me, I was doing merch and VIP security, and I am a level 2 commissioned private security officer through CSC as an independent contractor. That's my license for my security, and then that's my CSC badge as well.
Any like medical stuff you don't have to do with that?
I do absolutely no medical whatsoever.
Right.
We have no training in that. We have no contact with them other than if we see them verbally or like physically around, and we can like yell to them medical.
Right.
That's the closest we had to a contact with medical.
And like you said, it was barely any walkie-talkies or any way to communicate
at all
through staff. So we're still following the day. So you showed up, you worked your 3 days. Now let's talk about the day at Astroworld. So you showed up and got to work. And the first clips that you're showing me, if I could go to some of the footage and show of it, that's when people are kind of bum rushing. Now, where were they bum rushing to? Did they break through? Like, what happened?
So they're coming across, I believe that's Yellow to Blue Lots Bridge. And at the very bottom of that staircase is supposed to be a COVID checkpoint where they are supposed to have either a COVID vaccine card saying that they have been vaccinated, and within a certain time frame, I believe there is a like 5 days or longer.
Yeah.
And then there is also a failed or passed test, where if they had either failed or passed their COVID test within 48 hours. And so they're coming down that staircase and they're basically completely running through all that.
Right.
They are not stopping. They are bum rushing through all of that. All those people, all of them were trying to set up. Nope, not able to do that. And this is at like 9:20 in the morning, somewhere in that time frame, right before 9:30.
And
And
what
they're
time
doing
did
that
doors open though?
1 p.m.
So 1 p.m. and they started bum rushing at 9.
Yes. And
Wow.
this is over there by the VIP entrance as well as the main entrance. And then what makes no sense for me really is the very last, if like where I'll scroll over there, the far right side, the very last section, that's the ADA handicap section. And it's right there by the one medical tent. And so my thing is they have the handicap accessibility as well as the medical tent basically as far away from the entrance and as far away from the stage as possible.
Wow.
So if anyone gets hurt falling down them stairs, anyone gets hurt on the bum rush in, you know, you have to fight through an entire crowd just to get them some help. There's a couple just logistical questions on the whole entire setup of Astroworld Fest that I think should be asked. And the people that made the decisions should have to answer the questions why.
Now this video I'm about to pull up right here. Let me turn the volume down. What is that is coming out of, and this is around the same time, 9 a.m. What is going on right here? I haven't seen this video online at all.
So as soon as they come down and bum rush through all that COVID checkpoint and they go through VIP, all that right there is the general admission entrance. And those are Roman candles.
Wow.
They're Roman candles. And this is just one little clip wave. They were shooting them off in the air.
Yeah, you could
them
see
at us.
hands, and then you see the Roman candle coming out of the hand. Now that you say it, I'm looking closely. I see it. And they were shooting these at the security guards.
Up in the air at us, everybody.
Oh
they were throwing them after they were done, they were throwing them at us too. Like, and cops didn't make any arrests, nothing.
And not for nothing, you see the police right there just sitting there on their horses, like.
And even when they stroll by later, nothing.
Wow. After the crowd bum rushed in, Roman candles, 1 p.m. doors open, and people start performing. Where are you during this, and what's taking place during this time, kind of before Travis goes on?
So Travis doesn't go on until way later, which I had to make my way out before then. I was so exhausted, plus just the level of everything that had already gone on for the day. So I'm over at West VIP area by now, and I'm over there, and I've already been told that I'm cut and relieved from my merch VIP area because they had already bum rushed through that. As soon as they got through those doors and those little metal detectors, all that little VIP, the general admission area, all that they came through, every single one of those bicycle like ramps things that were set up to divide and like where they would basically have to maze their way in to the merch line and be a little bit of an order. I'm talking up and over, pushed over, up and over, like
they just fucked everything up,
bro. Crazy. And so they run through all of that, and I eventually get cut, and I'm basically waiting for my managers because, like I said, it was so understaffed, and then also so lack of equipment. Like, we needed golf carts. They could only go from the golf carts and take certain amount of people, like 2-3 people at the most on the time versus the one person who's driving, because they have to be a manager, like supervisor, to drive the golf carts.
When we spoke earlier, you was telling me about the medic tent situation and how the lack of space and the lack of resources they had. Can you explain what your views were or what you saw from the medic tent?
For sure. And so I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm not giving any medical advice. But if you think about what took place that night, over 300 people at one time needed medical attention. You know, you got almost 8 people on site dying.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people after the fact now dying. You've got the ICU nurse saying that they only had like one breathing apparatus bag, and you got people dying. You got people ODing. You got people getting stampeded and trampled, breaking bones, organ damage, all kinds of stuff. And you only have one medical tent, and it's about like 2.5, 3 car sizes wide, and about
Wow.
2 car parking spots almost like deep. And like that's just the tent area right there. I mean, that's like a small catering tent that they had for all that like
Yeah.
horrible medical stuff that they
It's
needed
insane.
help with.
Insane. And what's the capacity of that? Like a tent that size?
And that's what I'm saying. Like maybe 20, maybe
Right.
20, and that's like people jam packed in it with
Right.
nothing in it. And then this is for a festival of like 50,000 sold tickets.
And you were expecting about 100,000.
That's what they were telling us. It's just it's crazy. They increased the price on everything too. They know that everyone's been like locked up and stuff that they've been trying to like get out. And then the judge lowers the COVID ratings and all that kind of stuff too here in Houston.
What
It
do you
just
mean?
it's like, so our COVID ratings were at red, and then they dropped it, I believe, to orange or yellow the day of the festival. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And there's no way that I feel like one person, like, because a lot of people are trying to blame everything on Travis Scott. There's no way Travis Scott went out there to that medical tent. I doubt he even signed a piece of paper that said that there would just be one. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, that's probably, if I were to think about it, that's probably a Live Nation NRG thing.
Right.
You know, because NRG probably mediates for how much the city would cost for the EMTs to be out there, and they use Live Nation kind of as like the pay to bill for that. And Live Nation was like, we'll just buy one, we'll be good. That's what insurance requires, that bare minimum. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Versus actually looking at the whole scale of thing and realizing, okay, we need to spend more money, we need more staff, we need more than one location for this event.
Like you said earlier, everybody's trying to just put this on Travis and say Travis this, Travis that. Like you being someone who worked behind the scenes with these companies and you being there days prior leading up to it and seeing everything, what's your take on that?
I would definitely say it's multiple levels of faults. Let's just look at things that like the lineup. Day one, you got a bunch of Cactus Jack Records artists. Guarantee you that was Travis's main focus. That
Right.
he's got his family, because it's a hometown festival, his hometown show that he's worried about. And they do have a VIP area right there on the side of the stage, behind the stage. All that is his family, I guarantee you. And so just things like that where he will definitely have had his mind way more focused on than any other logistical part of the festival that is basically paying to just use his name.
Since this situation happened where Astroworld, we're starting to see a lot more artists stop their shows and just, hey, are you okay? You know, artists is kind of doing it a little bit more than they were before now, and it's making its way on all the sites. But maybe this will actually cause more artists that who are huge and have a big reach and bring out a lot of fans. Maybe this will have them start to be more involved in the logistics of their shit and logistics of where the med tents are going to be and all of that, because it's really unfortunate that it ended this way. And
Through that,
I don't think anyone would have wanted that at all, you know, but maybe people will be more involved with the logistics of shit instead of like, yo, is my family going to be good? Is my artist going to be good? Does the stage look lit? Because the stage looked sick. Like, let's be real. Like, his production is always amazing and top tier, but if people are
if we want to talk
together
about
like that, bro, it's not right.
No, I feel you. And if we want to talk about like what is the kind of like genius of his logistical focus, it would be that.
Let me pull up this this festival layout real quick.
All right, so that would be over in the main stage area.
Where is
This
that?
little side stage. So after you went through like the little vendor area, see, that's not even the whole festival. So that's right past the Ferris wheel and all that kind of stuff, headed towards the main stage. Like you got to go past that to keep going.
So the entrance is like where box office right here.
Yeah. See, so yeah, that's like a whole other side thing, and then you would have like the Ferris wheel and food and other little like setup stage, and then another little side entrance with more merch and like games and all kinds of little basketball and roller
So
coaster.
what's these medical? Because I see 3 medical dots right there. What are those?
So I believe those are where people are supposed to be basically just like standing with a bag. Like that's like where a person would be like standing with a bag, like a first aid kit bag. But
Wow.
that's not like a medical tent meant to deal with any kind of trauma. That's like where someone's supposed to be to go grab somebody and then like call in the trauma people to come in.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even then, like they should have way more than just that. What is that? 3?
Mhm.
3 for that whole area.
And it was so good, 100,000, But yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
we didn't even
The
need to get
person,
into all of that. Yeah, it was. Where
yeah,
was the
they should
actual
have,
medical tent at?
yeah, nowhere near that. Yeah,
Like
in the
by the
middle
food
of,
court, maybe. Or...
no, it'd be back towards, so you would have to go through fence. Yeah.
So the medic tent was where in relation to the thrill stage?
Oh, even further. So that stage is closer. It would be basically to your bottom left, go all the way through, and then if you went down into that next area,
We're like over here.
yeah, went down into that next area, it's gonna be right kind of like, let's say I'm walking. If I'm walking from the chill stage and I walk off that thing and I'm looking around, I'm gonna go right diagonal, and I'm gonna have 2 fences that are gonna block me. But that's basically the vicinity of where the medical tent is. It's right by the entrance.
To the VIP.
Over, I believe that's Blue Lot. It's at the entrance of the Blue Lot. It's where they had the big Travis head from the
Okay.
Astroworld entrance. All that. That's what I'm saying. This is only one little section of the whole entire festival.
Oh, this ain't the whole. This isn't the whole shit.
No, not at all.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. That's like maybe a third.
Something told you to say like, yo, I've been working 16 hours yesterday. I'm here. I got here early today. They're telling me I could leave, but yeah, I like Travis Scott's music, but I want to leave. Like, I'm not gonna stay and watch the show. Like, that's something
Bro.
told you that? Because a lot
And
of
not just,
people, trust me, if
and
they got that free ticket, they would have stayed and hung out. Maybe met up with some
yeah,
friends, kicked it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure, for sure. No, and I had homies go, and I had homies that hit me up to try to go for free and all that kind of stuff too. And the thing is like, so I had to come back even for that night for another shift. So I had to come back at 9:30 for a shift that night. And so yeah, bro, I'm telling you, we were overworked. It was
over
crazy.
understaffed and overworked.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Wow.
and so I had to come back again. So I had to go home because I had to snag at least 4 hours of sleep if I could.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So this
like,
was you was just doing this for your health, real talk. Like,
bro,
yeah, I didn't know you were supposed to come back again that night, man. Like, wow.
yes. And so that's what I'm saying. After it took place that day, I was supposed to come back again that night. I was like, you know what? I'm coming back in a little bit later because they just had deaths take place and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
don't really want to just show up to that. The streets are going to be insane. The news is insane.
yeah.
Like, so I get there and it's probably like 11:30, closer to midnight. And then I do my shift. And then I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to put in my 2 weeks because fuck this.
So when you showed up at 11:30 that night, what was going on?
Bro, panic, like all kinds of stuff. I started videoing and stuff like that too, man. All the different recap stuff. I
That
talked to
was the
one of my
videos you
manager
sent me
homies.
at night, right? That was the ones from night.
Yeah, I talked to one of my manager homies that was working over in the barricade area.
So tell me about that when you met up with your homeboy that was working during it.
Yeah, so like we started talking about how like Playboy Cardi had happened and the homie had gotten fucked up and put in the hospital, and everyone was talking about that rumor about the dude got pricked in the neck that they said now is like been debunked, that he just got knocked out and woke up in the tent,
Wow.
but that they gave him Narcan anyways or something apparently. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. But we started talking about that whole thing and what we thought about all that and how that was crazy. And then we started talking about the different stampedes and what took place over like literally where we were at earlier that day.
Yeah.
And like we're basically like pulling up other people's videos in comparison to where we were standing exactly. And then I walked around and was like peeping the aftermath of everything. I went to the medical tent because like my thing was I didn't really check out the medical tent and stuff like that before the festival. But after seeing what took place, I was like, man, this is probably a war zone aftermath here. But they
Right.
cleared everything out, man. And they cleared everything out so quick because they didn't have anything really there. Like space wise and stuff, man, they didn't have like, but maybe 3, 4 gurneys. You know what I mean? They really couldn't have put that much more in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
And
would
so they
think
probably,
you would
yeah,
think like after something where you know something like that and so many people lost their life that they would be a little bit more like cautious with how quick they would move stuff because it could have been like a crime scene essentially,
dude, I'm
no?
telling you. So that's the VIP area right there. That definitely is a crime scene. Not fenced off, not blocked off, no cop overwatch, nothing. They had us, and no one told us anything about no recording. No one said anything about no news reporters. No one said anything about none of that. No one has
Right.
told me anything. I got one generic email from my job after it was like, hey, do you need like a therapist or anything? And I was like, nah, I'm just putting in my 2 weeks.
Then they
Like, I
ask you
don't
if
need
you
a
need a
therapist.
therapist. Wow.
I was like, there ain't no therapist that I need that's gonna make me want to stay at this job. Like,
Real shit. Yeah, I can't blame you for that, dude.
I've done everything you could think of dang near at venues. I do production part time at a couple of other venues here in Houston, like White Oak Music Hall. Like I've worked at House of Blues here in Houston.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, bro, like I'm around in the music scene here.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah. And
So
my
we
thing
go.
is, it's like I've never seen anything this horrible ever.
I'm sorry you had to see it, dude. Real talk. I'm sorry
Man,
these people had to lose their life.
yes, man,
Most
that's what's
importantly,
real
you know,
sad.
like
My stuff is
fans and
way
shit.
more of the logistical side of things that you aren't gonna see on like a Twitter viral video. Like, you know what I mean? My stuff
Exactly.
exactly like all right through there, that fence part that you see them stepping on, all that stuff, that was pulled off to the side that I was videoing earlier.
That was seconds after probably the video you took
Oh, bro,
because
I'm
they was
telling you,
running, and then
right,
that's when they hit.
right after. Right after, bro, it got so bad I had to put my phone down because like you
Yeah,
never
you
know,
gotta
bro.
work.
Like,
You gotta work.
well, not even you gotta work. You never know if you're gonna actually have to defend yourself in something like that, bro.
What
Like
did y'all
this,
start doing when this happened?
dude, it's one of those things. They started just saying, hey, just stand against the wall. Just stand against the wall. Like the cops were saying that. Because, bro, I'm telling you, like you'll see, watch the end of this video. It's a horrific video, bro. But
Oh
right
my
there, you'll
god!
see, dude. And
So
as they're
none of
running
these
through there, they're
people.
jumping over all those barricades too in front of the merch.
So
And they're
when
doing this in a big ass horde all the way down.
so
Every
when
single
people
one of the
get in the
entrances, even
festival, oh, let me ask: when people get in the festival, are they checking wristbands?
none of those kids had checked any tickets, wristbands, any of that.
Were they getting kicked out though, or the
Nope.
security was just like after a while? Oh, they. I see they trying to wild out one kid. Oh, so the horse came in and they dipped.
Yep. See, I told you they'll stop for these big ass horses, bro. When they come in a wave like that, and all of them kids, they came rushing in. Who knows which one of them could have had a gun, knives,
Right.
COVID, bombs. You never know, bro. Like, and none of them could have bought tickets. None of them could have bought anything, and they just got in for free. And
Yeah.
then, like, imagine if you paid, that's basically spitting in your paycheck you just spent on that ticket. You know what I mean? And my thing is too, is like, even when it gets down to the facts of like people doing that without the consideration of the lives of who's under this fence that I'm just stepping on.
It's sad, man. I'm glad that you're able to speak your piece on it, and I'm glad that you're able to move on. Leave the company.
It's one of those experiences I don't want anyone to have to like go through it. Like, jobs, they come and go and all that kind of stuff, but like this type of shit should never happen again. Like,
Yeah.
people definitely need to start asking questions on the like who okayed what logistically,
Right.
why were certain decisions made for that okay? You know what I mean? Was it because of money costs or what? Like, no one should make these mistakes. They're pretty
Yeah.
blatant mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, and hopefully that's my thing with this. Hopefully this comes out there so that way people can see it and say what's up, because someone needs to find out what's up.
Well, thank you, bro. Ty, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, and good holidays, and we'll stay in touch,
Yes.
bro.
Yes, you already know.